If you're spending money on more than one of these things, you'll never become rich. And this is just the harsh reality. Well, unless you have an extremely high-paid job or you win the lottery. Now, lots of people will try to tell you that becoming rich is easy, probably because they want to sell you some sort of get-rich-quick scheme. However, this isn't the case, especially at a young age. It's not impossible to become wealthy, but you do have to be very strategic. By avoiding these 7 things, you'll have a much higher chance of becoming rich. So let's make money interesting so that you can grow your wealth. First up, we have extended warranties. I have to say they're one of the biggest scams out there. Well, apart from the Squid Game token, that's for sure. Just think about it. When you buy a new PC, the chances are the retailer bought the PC from a third-party supplier, meaning that the amount of profit that they make is very small. That's why it makes sense for them to push an extended warranty onto you, because that's where all the extra profit is made. What people seem to forget is a lot of credit cards offer an extended warranty, so you can just purchase an item on your credit card to get the same protection, and you pay no interest as long as you pay off at the end of every month in full. Most people will just completely forget that they have an extended warranty, not to mention the fine print, which usually makes it very hard to make a claim. So it's good as throwing your money down the drain. Normally they ask you if you want a 3-year warranty. However, the manufacturers cover the first 2 years anyway. So the reality is you're only buying an extra year anyway. So honestly, when you factor in your consumer rights and using a credit card for payment protection, why would you need an extended warranty? I bet a lot of shops don't want you to know this. Number 2 is new cars. What if I told you that a new car was the #1 killer of wealth and financial freedom? The untold truth is that a lot of people take on car finance to look and feel rich. But most of the time they don't even own their own home and they're living paycheck to paycheck. Many people finance their cars, and it's gotten to the point that car dealerships don't even tell you how much the car costs. They just ask you how much you can afford every month. And if the car seems too expensive, they just lengthen the payment terms so it seems cheaper. Those cheeky chappies, you've got to watch them. Now, the average car payment in the USA is between $500 and $600 every single month, just to drive a fancy car. And even when it's paid off, most people will just keep upgrading as it's a status symbol. It's like an endless cycle of flexing. Just to drive this point home, average stock market returns at 10%. If you invested $500 a month for 30 years, you'd have over $1 million for retirement, and that's going off 10%. And we've all seen the crazy crypto returns lately, so just use your imagination of what's possible. Third, we have penny stocks. While it's true people have made a lot of money by investing in penny stock, it's a real gamble. Believe it or not, the average annual penny stock return is actually minus 30%. Penny stocks are extremely high-risk investments that usually have very little information and history, as the companies can be relatively new. This could be an absolute recipe for disaster due to the pure volatility of the stocks. Small market caps and low liquidity means it's far easier to manipulate the price of the stock. For example, the big stocks like Tesla have market caps far in excess of $1 trillion. So a few whales selling hardly makes a difference to the price. Whereas a penny stock typically has a market cap of under 300 million. So all it takes is a few big sales and it can send the stock through the floor. Back in the days of the Wolf of Wall Street, they used to have huge rooms full of salesmen on the phone pumping up the prices of whatever penny stocks they liked. These were known as boiler rooms. This was also that they could sell at the peak and make huge profits for themselves. So you may be thinking why we put this on the list. Well, the truth is that you can get lucky, but the potential downside is really not worth the risk. Number 4 is eating out regularly. Now, we don't want to seem like a downer, but the average American household spends $3,000 plus per year on eating out. And that's not even accounting for alcohol as well. Now, when building your wealth, eating out is a huge waste of money, and it's better to just not fall into this trap. Learning how to cook not only saves you money, but it's also much healthier. And we think that the bigger issue here is drink. Not only does it hold you back financially from your goals, it can also throw you off your game the next day, which is never good. We believe in maximizing every single day, and successful people don't have time for laying around all day with a hangover. The richest CEOs in the world, like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, probably don't mind a drink, but they're certainly only keeping that sort of thing for special occasion. Next up is expensive gifts. It's so easy when you're young to think that your friendship group is amazing and you're going to be friends forever, but that's just not the case. Seriously, when you're young, no one expects you to buy luxury gifts, and if they do, then to be honest, they're no friend to you. If love is in your heart, then it doesn't need to come out of your wallet. It's important not to waste money on expensive gifts, especially for people that could end up being temporary. Every single expensive item that you buy for yourself or someone else is a major setback, as early on in your journey it's the most important time to be investing, so things can start compounding. We're not saying you can't buy nice things, of course you have to live your life, but don't get caught in the madness of buying luxury or even designer items when you truly can't afford it at the same time as investing. Just because you've got it in your bank account doesn't mean you can afford it. Number 6 is hotels. Now, traveling in your younger years can be such a benefit, as experiencing other cultures can really broaden your horizons. However, the cost of booking hotels can really get out of hand. If you're traveling quite a bit, it's best to find friends who you can just stay with, so you don't have to pay for expensive accommodation, and plus it's more fun that way. For domestic travel, you could either take a tent or just blow up mattress in your van. This just goes to show that staying in hotels doesn't have to become a regular expense, as there are creative ways to get around it that will save you an absolute fortune. I mean, van life even has a whole YouTube community now, and it seems pretty cool. Lucky number 7 is passion purchases. We know we're probably going to get comments like, but I'd rather enjoy my life while I'm young than be rich when I'm old. We completely see your point. However, you can save money and still have a lot of fun in the process. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Everyone has a passion for something. We think up to 5% of your take-home pay is okay for a hobby. Just remember, whatever your passion is, if you can make it pay for yourself, then you're laughing. Now, the final bonus one that we have is untracked subscriptions. It's estimated that in the United States, people waste $34 billion on unwanted subscriptions that they don't even use. No wonder why software companies are all moving to a subscription business model. But we'll give it to them. It's a great way to get recurring revenue without having to find a new customer. They could just keep selling to you again and again and again and again and again. Now, let's be honest, subscriptions can easily add up, and they're also tricky to manage. As we've mentioned previously, there's a subscription for everything nowadays. You can even get toilet paper on subscription from Amazon. But not all subscriptions are bad. Rather than going to the movies and having a whole night out that can cost you loads, it might be better to just have friends over and buy some snacks for a movie night in. So our point here is that subscriptions like Netflix can actually be a huge money saver, as it allows you to have fun at home for a very low cost. But many subscriptions could get out of control, and when you're done using them, the facts show that you won't even cancel them, which is absolutely bonkers. So as long as you're using the service and getting good value, then we don't think there's too much of an issue here. If you try hard enough, you'll always be able to find creative ways to save money. But this is also just one side of the battle. You of course also need to be increasing your income at the same time. We've made tons of other videos about making more money, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so that you can be the first to watch them. We'll see you in the next video.